Hello friends, hope you are doing good. In this lecture, we are going to start the 12th Political Science Volume 1, the very first chapter, the Constitution of India. What we are going to look into this is the meaning, function and significance of the Constitution, the source of the Indian Constitution, the salient features of the Indian Constitution, the parliamentary democracy in India and the constitutional amendments of India. So, the Constitution of India. What is the need for the Constitution? As it's been rightly described in the book itself, the absence of the basic rules and regulations which may surely, very surely, imperil the very statehood of India and also make the people to feel highly insecure. So, who makes the Constitution? So, the nationalists who fought for independence have made the central legislative body which was converted into a constituent assembly, that is a constitution making body. As we have seen, the need and the body which is going to make the constitution, and the next we are going to see is what does the constitution do. The constitution basically empowers the government to fulfill the aspirants of the society and also create conditions for a just being the society. And the constitution which should highly express the fundamental identity of the people, which is the first and foremost basic thing of the constitution, to give the identity of what the people of India or a particular nation is. So, to crack the prelims of TNPSC, we should be aware of the facts which are available in the books and also with the previous questions. So, in this chapter, we are going to analyze the keywords and also the facts, not only focusing on Constitution of India in particular, we are also diving into all the other facts in the book. So I've collected few facts in this book. Try to answer in the comment box also. So the term district constitution, which means what? As it's been described, the United Kingdom, that is the British, instead has a series of customs, conventions and also the historical precedents which are collectively referred to as constitutional components. As we all know, the United Kingdom does not have even a single word as a constitution in a written document. So the practice of following law which is prevailing in the British is being termed as the district constitution. The next word is the theocratic society. What is a theocratic society? A theocratic society or a state which actually follows a single religion or a state religion which is prevalent in the entire majority of the nation. For example, the practice of Islam in the nation of Pakistan and Israel is a very good example of theocratic state. So, Article 26 of our Indian Constitution, what does it say? Article 26 of our Indian Constitution, which says freedom to manage religious affairs. Freedom to manage religious affairs. And the next keyword is referendum. Referendum in simple, what does it imply? Referendum in simple, which implies is the government which are about to make laws by the local representatives of the people by in terms of voting is being termed as referendum. Now we are going to look into the major and the mini constitution of India, as it's been phrased as the 42nd Amendment Act, which have brought down several words which could be said as a features or a new light to the Indian Constitution, such as the term socialist, secular, and an addition of new words in the preamble, fraternity, as unity and integrity is being transformed into new aspect from the unity of the nation to unity and integrity of the nation. In the period of Indira Gandhi, the 42nd Amendment Act on the year of 1976 after the proclaiming of emergency is being came out. So here's then another fact on basis of the constitution, the making of the constitution. The 9th December 1946, which is the first day of the meeting of the members of the Constituent Assembly, and on the very first day the drawing of the constitution has been also started. The next meeting, the very second meeting, has been started on 14th August 1947. Why it's very important is this is the time which we have finished the phase of partition. So this is the second meeting over there. It's been rightly discussed and debated on the temporary chairman of the Constituent Assembly. So the members of the Constituent Assembly is being appointed by the cabinet mission, which is being applied from the British cabinet. So they draw the members of the Constituent Assembly. It is important to check into the drafting committee members. The members which are being listed below could also be stated in the statements of the choose the correct answer or by the statement related questions. We can easily eliminate if we know some of the personalities. So a few personalities such as N. Madhav Rao, Syed Mohammad Sadullah, Dr. Ambedkar, Sir Alladi Krishnasamy Iyer, Sir B. N. Rao, and S. N. Mukherjee, Jugal Kishore Khanna, and Keval Krishnan. As per the distribution of members in the Constituent Assembly, we could see that the ratio is being separated as 1:1 per million, and 292 members in the princely states and 93 members in the states. As we have seen, the debate is being conducted for the selection of temporary chairman on 14th August 1947 is by the person Acharya J.B. Kripalani. To select the temporary chairman, Mr. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. So the another date to be kept in mind is 24th of Jan 1950, where the last meeting for signing of the constitution is being held under the chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So it is very important to have a basic overview of the dealings of the Constituent Assembly from the date of 9th December 1946 to 24th of January 1950. There are about 12 volumes which are to be deciphered or to have a basic idea about what is will be very helpful in the prelims examination. So now we are going to step into the sources or where the inspirations have been taken to develop our constitution. From the Government of India Act 1935, we have taken the federal provisions, Office of Governor, Judiciary, Public Service Commission, emergency provisions, and the administrative details. From the Britain, the parliamentary government, single citizenship, rule of law, US Constitution, the fundamental rights, which are all being deciphered in a rightly way in the Samachir book. So, understanding all the key features, understanding all the details and facts in this page will secure high marks in the prelims examination. So in the next we are going to look into the salient features of Indian Constitution. As it's rightly said, Indian Constitution is the lengthiest and written constitution in the world. As it's been deciphered all the fundamental features, fundamental rights, directive principles, state policies, which made the constitution as longest written constitution in the world. And it's rightly said that the Indian constitution is a mix of rigidity and flexibility. Why it's said as rigidity and flexibility is because the amending features, the amending characteristics of the Indian constitution under article 368. So the another features, the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. We all know that the term socialist, secular is being deciphered into the constitution as by the 42nd amendment of the act. So the term sovereign means as a country which manages its internal and external affairs freely without the interference of any external factors is being said as sovereign. A socialist is not in that way of capitalism and mix of socialism. It's not in that way. Here it is deciphered as through the democratic and evolutionary and non-violent means. And the term secularism means practice of law, practice of religion by the freedom of the individual in any part is being termed as secularism. Republic is described as the head of the state, which is not rightly as monarch. The parliamentary system of government. The parliamentary system of government of India is described as the executives, the governors, the prime minister, president is highly responsible to the legislature, which are made by the people and which is been responsible to the people to remain in power and enjoy the confidence till it have the confidence on the majority of legislator. The single citizenship. The next feature is the single citizenship. As we all know, the country of India allows the citizens to have a single way of citizenship, which does not allow a dual citizenship. The part 2 of the Constitution of India holds the characteristics of citizenship from the article 5 to 11. The universal adult franchise is the next features, which have one person, one vote. Next is the right to education. The 86th Amendment Act of 2002 have brought in the right to education to India and made the Article 21A to include in the Constitution of India, which highly denotes the children of age 6 to 14 years to have the compulsory education in India as a fundamental right in such a manner the state may by law determine. And next is the directive principles of state policy. The directive principles of state policies provides the guidelines to be followed by the states regarding the governance and not enforceable in any court of law. Next is the fundamental duties. As the fundamental duties has also been included by the mini constitution of India, so and so called the 42nd Amendment, the fundamental duties as part 4, it's been fixed under Article 51A. There are about 11 fundamental duties which have been deciphered. So, the other feature, the parliamentary supremacy with the judicial review balancing in between. As we all know, the judiciary of India is highly independent. So, we don't give power to a single body by all the means. With that, subject to the provision, a law is being made by the parliament or any rules made by the Supreme Court under Article 145, the Supreme Court has the power to review any judgment pronounced by the made or made by it.